Hi there, my name is Ariel Forbes, and welcome to my workshop, Hold Your Head High, Self-Esteem and Students. All the ideas that you hear from me today are ones that I borrowed from social psychology and the research that they've compiled. Today, we're going to focus on three main objectives concerning your students: how to change a life, how to motivate, and how to get them to believe in themselves. But first, let's talk about self-esteem for a minute. What is self-esteem? Self-esteem is defined as a person's overall self-evaluation or sense of self-worth. Why does it matter to students? Mostly because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. What this means is academic self-concept affects grade performance. If students believe they're good at math, they will more than likely do well at math. So why does it matter to me as an educator? It's your job. Boosting a child's self-image also boosts school achievement, and it's our job as educators to help these kids be the best they can be. Now, on to our objectives. There are three questions that all successful teachers must ask themselves at some point. The first question: how do you change a student's life in the brief time you have them in your classroom? By teaching them how to value themselves and their education through healthy self-esteem. Give them the tools they need to boost their own self-confidence. Majority of researchers have agreed that whenever self-esteem is low, it can leave psychological effects that make that person more vulnerable to stressful situations and to peer victimization. So what does this mean for you? It means higher self-esteem makes them stronger. It makes kids more resilient to stress and creates a protective buffer for bullying. How do you get a student to try harder? Motivation is key. Individuals with low levels of self-esteem also have low levels of optimism and motivation. Motivation is supposed to be one of the most important factors that educators deal with in order to improve learning. So if you want to get those grades up, this is where you should start. Focus on positivity. Emphasize the good grades and help them learn to brush off the bad ones. You have to teach them that failure is not the end. They are capable of anything. They just have to keep trying and practicing because outlook is everything. So finally, and probably the most important question, how do you get them to believe in themselves? Low self-esteem is a vicious cycle. Students who experience repeated academic failure are likely to develop negative feelings about themselves, which causes them to give up faster and continue to get bad grades. In other words, bad grades lead to negative feelings that leads to low motivation that leads right back to more bad grades. How do we break this cycle? We teach them how to talk to themselves. We teach them the difference between negative and positive self-talk. It's not, I can't make this any better. It's, I can always improve, so I'll keep trying. Because if children are continuously given negative feedback at home, at school, or even by themselves, the more likely they will begin to believe it. We all know that we can't control what happens at home, but we can control what happens in the classroom. We can't always be there with them, but we can give them the tools to help themselves. We can start integrating daily self-esteem activities into the classroom. For example, Mirror Mirror. You have a Mirror Mirror page where kids can write positive things about themselves on a mirror to pull out whenever they need them, right there in their desk. You can start a self-esteem journal. You can do this 5 minutes a day at the beginning or the end of each day, or any time that a child has extra time during the school day. They can write positive things about themselves, things they would like to improve on, anything that helps improve their outlook and view of themselves. You can also have a giant classroom board that corrects all of those negative thoughts kids have and turns them into positive ones. For example, "This is too hard" becomes "This might take some time and effort." And "I'm not good at this" becomes "What am I missing?" See, there are things you can do every day in your classroom to improve healthy self-esteem habits. I've given you a few of them here, and on your handout, there are even more resources for you to use. So the best advice that I can give you is get busy.